Hi, today is February 21st, 2022. This is Astrology Talk, and I am going to talk about the moon in Scorpio today and a couple more things. So, the moon in Scorpio is pretty intense. You might have noticed some feelings of, like moving from the moon in Libra, you notice some more sensitivity, perhaps emotionally. However, it is softened a bit right now because the moon is in a trine with the sun in Pisces. And, because Scorpio and Pisces are both water signs and they're both, um, the sun, when it gets to be 6 or 7 or 8 degrees, will be an exact trine to the moon. Or, when it'll happen as the sun moves a little bit slower than the moon, and then the 120 degrees will happen at some point. Today, like I said, the sun is at 3 degrees Pisces, and the moon's at 6, and that's just 6 degrees Scorpio, and that's just a few degrees away from a trine. So it's good enough for me as far as interpretation goes. And what happens with that, as I said, there's a softening of the intensity and the passionate responses that the Scorpio moon has. And the Scorpio moon time tends to be a reactive time when people are perhaps a little on edge emotionally and tend to respond and react quite rapidly to stimuli, and deeply, very deeply. So it is an intense time. And as Mercury, which is at 7 Aquarius, moves closer to Saturn, which is at 17 Aquarius, that's just 10 degrees, Mercury will conjunct Saturn. And that will be a time where you might want to sign some contracts, create some written documents, go to a class, study, take on a new study. So it could be a time where you expand your mind through educational pursuits, and that's going to come up in about 10 days or so. Also, we have the sun at 3 Pisces, which that's today, which will conjunct Jupiter, which is at 12 Pisces. Jupiter is moving more slowly than the sun, so that will be in about 10 days also, where the sun is conjunct Jupiter. And that is usually a very positive time. That is a time where I would expect some gatherings to occur for a purpose, a very important purpose. And so this energy, this water energy of Pisces and Scorpio, and then I'll talk about the Aquarius energy a little bit more, but the Pisces and Scorpio energy is very complementary. Scorpio is like the manifestation, the outer manifestation of the Pisces inner depths. And so it can be very intriguing, and it can be very seductive as well, on many levels. And there's always passion with the Scorpio moon, which we have today and tomorrow and the next day probably. Tremendous passion. I think that the Scorpio energy is the most passionate of the zodiac, because the depths that the Scorpio energy goes to is just as far as you can go, as deep as you can go. So if you're experiencing something emotionally, you will feel yourself going deeper and deeper and deeper until you feel like you have explored the entire realm of the emotional experience that you're having. And then you come back up, and you still explore on the way up from the depths. And it's very interesting. There's always a rejuvenation, some kind of realizations, revelations during the Scorpio moon. So it is a very rich time, a time when you can really harvest a lot of inner wisdom of your own and find out a lot about yourself at this time. And I mentioned I would speak a little bit about the Aquarius energy, which is, I did talk about the Mercury and Saturn. Saturn has to do with lessons and discipline. And so that's why you might find yourself involved in some kind of contract when Mercury and Saturn join up even further than they are right now, or even closer than they are right now. And the type of, it'll involve technology, typically. Aquarius energy, it uses whatever resources are available. And right now, we all have social media in abundance, as well as all kinds of technological creations that we can avail ourselves of. So this is going to be the next 2 weeks at least, and 3 weeks are going to be really rich in terms of self-discovery and global revelations and feelings that act like kind of a light on everything. So I hope this has been useful. Please leave a comment. Please send me an email if you want to talk about your own chart. PatriciaCraven817 at gmail.com. And thank you very much for tuning in.